$10 and change.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Is that from a concert or from an album? It's from a concert. Okay.
I think it's from a concert.
I see the Seattle, Washington. What did you buy it?
Online.
Oh, you bought it online?
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought you bought it like secondhand store.
No. They came into town or something, and that's like their 2022 or whatever T-shirt.
Did they come to Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go see them?
No.
Didn't get a chance.
No, unfortunately.
It's too bad.
I know.
That should be my bit. Fuck Ticketmaster should be my bit.
Yeah, they overpriced a little bit.
No, Ticketmaster was fine.
Go to the venue.
Ticketmaster was great. You just couldn't buy anything from them because you couldn't get any access to it. And you can't go to the venue anymore. The venue does not sell the tickets anymore.
Ouch.
That's why Ticketmaster is now getting sued by like 20 different people. They're starting a class action lawsuit for it.
Yeah, because it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they merged with, well, I mean, it happened a while ago, but they merged with Live Nation.
Live Nation.
Well, StubHub is a secondhand reseller anyway.
But that has a partnership with Ticketmaster, which basically means they're like, oh, we did all this stuff to make sure that there weren't resellers, but StubHub, you can have a bunch of tickets, and we're gonna get all the fees off of it and do everything like that. Sounds great. Sounds great.
Ask
cool.
us how much we spent.
Don't ask me. I don't want to tell you.
2 tickets to go see Taylor Swift.
Y'all are dumb.
In the almost nosebleeds of NRG.
Yeah, you're dumb.
Section 625. We are at least looking at the stage. I could have paid
$350 a ticket.
I wish.
Yeah.
I fucking wish. That was actual retail price. Good guess on the actual retail price.
Say $350. It would be the tickets for the upper seats. That would be for Taylor Swift.
That's what they were actually selling.
But
for.
going for any resales or anything like that, you probably spent about $800 to $1,000 a ticket.
It was $600 a ticket.
Ouch.
Plus the $133 each in fees.
Wow, 130. What fees?
13. Processing fees
Go
and
fuck yourself.
handling fees. I'm like, you're not even handing me a fucking paper ticket. How is there a
not,
processing fee?
How is there a handling fee?
Yeah, it's at and then we won't even get the tickets because it's a reseller. We are not guaranteed to get the tickets until 48 hours before the event. So I may not even actually get tickets, and they may just refund us 2 days before the event and go, "Oh, sorry."
Why would you even tell me that part?
I guess I shouldn't have brought that up. That is technically a possibility.
Because it happens.
That person could technically cancel the sale and go, oh, never mind. I decided to go because I didn't get more money for the other ticket than I wanted. So I'm going to use these tickets. Bye. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, because what happened is Taylor Swift's like management team or whatever went to Ticketmaster and was like, listen.
She hasn't toured in like 5 years.
It's been like 4.
Well, 5 and 4 is pretty close.
Are you going to be able to handle the amount of people that are going to, like, this is going to be really in demand? And they're like, yeah, we got it. So they had a pre-sale for Capital One card holders as well as verified Ticketmaster fans or whatever. We did not get into the waiting line for either of those. Day 1, the site crashed. They had to push
during the pre-sale. The site crashed. They had to push it to the next day.
Yeah, because millions of people jumped on that to get any ticket anywhere.
By the time the general sale was supposed to happen on Friday, tickets were sold out.
But you could already get them on resale sites.
Yep, I could already go on StubHub and get them.
Yeah, because those resales were like, sweet, let's fucking buy like fucking 500 of those.
Oh, it was absolutely ridiculous. We even tried to game the system a little bit on that too. Like my boss is going, and I also like.
And she got into the pre-sale, and she was gonna get all of us tickets, and then we were gonna pay her back.
She's like, you can just pay me back. I'll just get as many tickets as I can. You guys can just pay me back. I'm like, sounds great. I don't even care. Just pick them. I'll fucking pay you because it's gonna be cheaper than me buying them resale. She goes, they would only let me buy 2 tickets, and I'm like, what? And she's like, I tried, but I could only. At the time I was trying to buy it, you couldn't buy 4 tickets because there was not 4 tickets together anywhere in the entire stadium. In all of NRG, there was not 4 tickets together.
Who cares?
No, but again, that's how Ticketmaster's set up. If you want to buy 4 tickets,
you have to buy them in a set.
You had to buy them together. And if they aren't together, you had to buy them separate. And guess what? If you wanted to buy them separate, you then had to get back into the queue. And wait another 2.
You could get in.
And that's what she tried to do. And then they shut the queue off and said the pre-sale is closed. Sorry, before she could do it. So she's like, I'm sorry. I had to get mine because my wife's gonna divorce me if I don't get them. So.
Wait, you got they were resale, but you got them through Ticketmaster, right?
No, I got them through StubHub, I think.
I'm pretty sure with either of those, like they should be guaranteed.
They're technically guaranteed. Like I said, they're supposed to be. Let's see.
But yeah, needless
Unless
to say,
someone's willing to spend more money than you.
Oh, if I had $50,000, we could go sit front row near the stage, at the stage.
Yeah. Welcome to the elitist Hollywood right there.
I was so pissed. I mean, and then, because then
You
we
can
just
thank
started.
Taylor Swift for that.
Oh, Taylor's pissed.
Fuck Taylor. She was pissed. She'd be like, lower all these ticket costs. Take all the tickets away from everyone and lower them down and refund people money. Whatever you want to do.
Sincerely doubt there's any way she can do that.
That's why the class.
She's the performer.
That's why the class
doesn't
action
fucking matter.
lawsuit is happening. Is because it's not like she could just go to NRG Stadium and be like, no, don't go through Ticketmaster. You have to sell them direct because they can't do that.
Taylor Swift could be like, nah, I'm not going on tour.
She'd be
Just for that reason. But she doesn't give a shit.
Well, then she could get sued.
Good. Let her get sued. She'll be like, I made a stand, and then all her fans are gonna fucking go after Ticketmaster and everybody else, and she can countersue and say, you price gouged all that shit. You made my tickets, my performance be at a disadvantage, and you actually hurt me versus actually helping you, because I don't see any of those sales, and I guarantee she doesn't get any of half of that money.
No. She gets the ticket sales.
Oh,
but not the resale money.
And she doesn't get all of the fees that Ticketmaster charges. That's where they make their money, because they technically don't make anything off the sale of the ticket. That is split between the venue and the artist. That's why they pay. That's why they make you charge. That's why they charge you $100 a ticket.
She's getting $50,000 for front row seats for.
No, she doesn't get that.
So people.
She doesn't get that.
That's a ticket sale.
No, her front row seats did not cost that much. That's how much they cost resale.
That was the resale amount. Sorry.
They were like $1,000 each. Not gonna lie on that one. So she did get money from the original $1,000 or whatever. Why can I not find my fucking tickets?
I just want to know who's reselling them then.
Basically, anyone who has a verified account to resale on StubHub or Ticketmaster. I mean, I could go on, I have, for example, say that I had bought Taylor Swift tickets, straight out the presale, and I could go on StubHub right now and put them up for sale. We almost had to do that for the Eagles concert when they rescheduled because we didn't know if we were going to be able to get to Colorado. So, when it comes to reselling, Taylor the artist doesn't see any of that money.
When do those tickets come out again? When did we buy those?
A couple weeks ago. Can't you just search StubHub?
Yeah, I can't.
Bought them from?
And I can't find them now. When I was searching them, they weren't coming up, and I was very confused.
So she's performing 3 nights here in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In Houston.
How many tickets do I want? 2.
She better play fucking Witch Bucket.
I'll let you know. I'll keep you.
I don't think she's going to play Witch Bucket.
You don't know that.
Yeah, so fucking... So tickets... There's no tickets behind her. That's good. I was looking at this show. Is there any tickets behind her open right now?
There aren't any tickets left behind her. You could buy tickets behind the stage for $600 a piece either, too. Where the fuck?
Well, I'm looking at Saturday the 22nd in April, and there's 2 tickets in the upper 628 section. Where is that at?
Yeah, we're in 6.
That is pretty much behind the stage. That's so stupid.
Yeah, we're in section 625.
No, you did not send me a copy.
You're in section 625, so you guys are behind the stage. And you paid $800. I'm so sorry.
We're not behind the stage. We're in 625.
625 is behind the stage.
No, sorry, not 625. We're in we're in section 644.
Okay, yeah, then you're in front.
Sorry, no, 625 was the one that stuck in my head because I'm like, it's behind the fucking stage. Why are you even selling that ticket?
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah, they'll be ready on Thursday, March 9th.
Even 628 is behind the stage. You're literally cattywampus to the stage, at least friggin'
There's big screens behind it, but yeah, you're paying a bunch of money to watch her on a TV.
Yeah, you're paying $400 each for each of these tickets, just for those back seats. There's tickets in 632, which is like stage left, and that's for $450. One of the best-selling sections for this event. Yeah, no shit, because it's unrestricted. It's fucking right at stage left, so you can at least see the stage.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, I gotta get at least the cheapest tickets I can to enjoy the event. God, that's so stupid.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous. I agree.
I don't see why you guys would pay that much. I just pay pay-per-view for the fucking show.
Because it's not going to be on pay-per-view?
Or just wait for the.
Or
just not bother.
It's gonna end up being on Disney Plus at some point in time, probably. But
Just wait for Disney Plus. But I guess you gotta fucking live it for once. Section 110, row K, $855. Where's 110?
oh yeah, there's tickets available now. They're just
110
ridiculously
110
priced.
is stage right, but it's gonna be kind of like floor view. I mean, there's tickets available for cheaper than what you bought.
Yeah, but in the shittiest spot you can possibly be. Yeah.
Not entirely.
But you also remember that part of what we paid was the fees. were
Again, I only paid
outrageous.
$600. The tickets themselves were only $600.
513.
Technically.
Where's 513?
Are you on
Let's-
Ticketmaster or StubHub?
StubHub. And they're still pricing it. What's floor level? H.
Yeah.
H row 20, 2 seats,
Yeah.
$1,400 each.
Let's see. The tickets were $495 each.
What about A?
Plus $278.96 in fees, and $23 in tax.
Row A, or section A, row 24, $2,696 each.
So actually, where we're at actually ends up not being terrible. Technically.
Row A, row 16, closer to the stage, $1,500. Why are the ones behind in row 24 like
More
more?
expensive. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you also remember that that's what people think they can get for those tickets. That's not what Ticketmaster was selling those tickets for.
Here's oh, okay. Section C, row 16, $3,500 each. VIP access with private entrance and restrooms. Priority entry, early access, includes VIP pass. You'll be seated together.
Fine.
$3,500 each. You guys got a credit card?
Not one with that limit on it.
Taylor!
Anyway, we should start the show.
God, this is fucking...
Oh, was the show not started?
Oh,
I
I thought we were going to include
I
this.
can see you were recording that the whole time.
Like I said, I just assumed.
I usually can't.
I assumed we were going to use that.
I would never pay that much
Yeah,
for
but
any
we
tickets.
haven't actually done the
Yeah, you should probably do that.
say hi to everyone.
I would
It would be nice to do
never
just
pay
one
that.
episode where we never do a cold open. Just go in, see what happens.
Oh yeah, and we're also people.
Welcome to the 8-Bit Cat Show, a place where friends geek out over the nerdy things we love, sometimes with cats.
Every now and then.
Bailey is sleeping. I don't want to disturb her. She's being so good.
No, she's got.
Hi, Bailey.
You
Oh.
fucker. I'm your host, Stephanie Katz. With us tonight, Zach,
Hola, como esta?
Pita,
Alright?
and Tim.
My flavor saver's clean.
I'm so happy for you.
I trimmed it up a little bit today.
No, mine's growing out. I have like fuzzies and stuff. I'll touch my lips. It's not the best.
Oh, it was really bad. I actually, I guess, sort of participated in No Shade November, and by that I just got lazy.
So it kind of like got all like.
Oh, it was super stringly. I'm like, ooh, that's getting a little out of hand there. I need to at least clean that up a little bit. You get the ones where they go up like into your nose and like grab your nose hair, and you're like, that is not fun.
That's because you were sleeping on it, and when you slept on it, it just kind of
gets it right up in there.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Now you've completely disturbed her.
I was just trying to pet you.
She's so confused. How dare you? Anyway, so we finished Andor. Peter, did you watch it at all?
Yeah, I finished it yesterday.
Nice.
Started and finished it yesterday.
And
That's actually pretty impressive because that's quite a bit of content with 12 episodes on it.
It was nice to get a new Star Wars show that wasn't about a disgruntled father figure taking on a child reluctantly,
Yeah.
which has been almost every Star Wars show since the Clone Wars.
It's kind of been every Star Wars. That's kind of what they are.
Not really.
Struggling fathers. It's bad father figures, at least. There's a lot of bad father figures in Star Wars.
Bailey has
No,
a
it was
lot
really
of
good. I
feelings
really
about
liked it.
I will say I don't know if there's enough interviews about George Lucas's relationship with his dad. Now I think I needed to hear more about that.
You were saying?
I really enjoyed it. I did. Fucking, y'all were exactly right, and that I was like, yeah, this is definitely something I would have wanted to see.
Yeah, no, I thought it would definitely be right up your alley. It's one of my favorite of the new Disney pieces of Star Wars. I think it's probably my favorite bit that they've added.
Absolutely.
That since Disney fully took over, it's probably the best bit that's been added. There's definitely, I will give in to some of the arguments out there that people are like, it's boring, it's slow. You're not necessarily wrong. There isn't a huge action sequence in every single episode. It's not a Kenobi. It's not a thing like that. But I think that really helps it, honestly, because if you took the Star Wars out of it, it'd still be a great fucking show.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of it that, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily need to be Andor, honestly. It could have just been a random character.
100%.
But no, I mean, it is going to be fun for them to try and rationalize the argument he makes in Rogue One of, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. It seems like you've been in this fight since you were like 30. Like,
I think he's younger than we think he is in the show. I think he's like late 20s.
He looks
I don't
like
think he's.
40.
I don't. Well, yeah.
not exactly the point.
Well, yeah.
But I get what you mean.
Well, like I said, he was the right age when they cast him in Rogue One, and that was how many years ago now? And yeah, now he looks 40, but he's supposed to be younger than he was in that movie. So
Yeah, but he's not supposed to be 6.
no. He is definitely not 6 when we first see him there in Canary. It's that he's at youngest like maybe 14. I could go as young as 14, I think, in that Canary scene, like where he's all the weird kid. That's the
When
thing
he's
I need
still,
more
like,
answers
tribal.
about. I need more answers about that. What the fuck happened there?
Everyone died.
No, but did they? Or is that just what the Empire's telling us?
Well,
No,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
it
everyone
sounds
died.
like there was a Canary girl at that fucking whorehouse.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
Yeah, there is multiple mentions and allusions to casual sex in the Andor show. He definitely bumps uglies with a couple aliens for sure. Less aliens in the show than all the other ones though, but apparently that was a conscious choice by Tony Gilroy, where he's like, I'm just not good with the puppets. Basically, he's like, I'm trying to tell a real story, and yes, that part is definitely Star Wars, and you want to have that in there, and so yeah, he's got some in there. But he's like, most of the stuff works better if you're not having to also figure out how to do blocking and choreography for a guy in a giant suit or prosthetics, or trying to figure out where the CGI is going to go. They're like, and I think they did a really good job on the show of deciding where to use their CGI budget. The
Spaceships.
Yes, the parts where they use it. The parts where they use it is I think they made the right choices. The main guy Luthen has my favorite ship, I think, in Star Wars now. The Fondor is fucking dope, and I'm just gonna throw that out there. It is his James Bond Aston Martin. Like, he even has like the saw blades comes out the sides, except it's giant lightsaber laser beams that he then like does barrel rolls and murders to Imperial TIE fighters.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
Big giant laser beams.
And they just like they even like little sticks come out. It's like it almost looks like lightsabers, and it just goes chunk chunk, and then and like he does, and you're like, all right, yeah, fuck him up. This is great.
Does it just spin around him, or does
No,
make
he
the
spins the ship, and it just. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this Luthen dude?
So he's
did he
lightsaber
come
battling
from?
with a spaceship.
It's pretty dope.
Now all we need is Gundams.
Yeah.
We're getting. I think we're almost there. We're almost there. They did that in that Star Wars Visions. There was Gundams in that.
I try not to think about that episode of Star Wars.
I
That
think
one was real dumb.
I think it's great if you don't think about it. Again, if you don't think about it as Star Wars, you're like, Oh, a weird Japanese short about some fighting robots? This could be interesting. All right. Ooh, they're fighting with laser swords. Cool.
I'll stick
Laser
with Gundam for my Gundam, please.
100%. If you're going to get your Gundam, get it straight from the source. It's the right choice, Peter. You are correct, my good man. But no, I really, there's some great, really boring and dumb parts because they dive hard into this is like,
The story itself.
I think this is what George Lucas actually wanted to do with the prequels, and like, hey, this is the politics and how the Republic actually works and why it sucks and why it's falling. But they're doing that with the Empire. They're like, yeah, this is how it actually works. And this is what's going on behind the scenes, and this is why we really need to get rid of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Why does it seem like everything's so orderly and better under the Empire? Blatant corruption.
Yeah, that was one of the
I will
comments
say-
I made when we were watching it. As I was like, Coruscant looks so clean.
Yeah, because there's a curfew and nobody goes out after 8 p.m. and nobody's buying death sticks anymore, baby. Nobody's buying death sticks anymore. They all wanted to go home and rethink their lives.
Oh noes.
But yeah, I will say, it looks like Palps got out there and got him to sweep the streets and do stuff like that. It's very clean, very orderly, and extremely depressing.
I hated that deputy guy.
What, Deputy Director Karn?
The one that got fired.
Yeah,
and then-
Cyril Karn.
Yeah, I did not like him. He was so
I can't
annoying.
possibly imagine why he wasn't your favorite character.
I love the actor because he did the great job of the guy who did Joffrey in Game of Thrones, and even Tom Felton for Draco Malfoy, where you start to hate the actual actor because he's so good at making you hate the character that he's playing. You're like, fuck that guy, fuck everything about that guy. But you're like, no, he's just a really good actor because he is making me hate that motherfucker. And I don't know, but somehow he managed to always look like he's on the verge of tears the entire time he's on screen.
He
Even
just
when
constantly looked like he wanted to cry.
Even when things are going well, even like it doesn't happen very often for him, but the two times that things actually go well, you still see in his eyes that he's like, I'm about to cry because I finally did something right, kind of thing like that too. And you're like, Jesus, bro, things are not fun for you. But I don't want to do too much spoilers because I think I honestly you would actually really like this show as well, Tom. It's more like a live action Clone Wars in that kind of respect, but more serious. It's like if the Clone Wars and the West Wing had a baby. There's actually a lot of great walk and talks in it. I was on for it. It was, and the casting and the acting is just absolutely fantastic. Skarsgård does the Skarsgård thing where you're just like, okay, yeah. And then Diego Luna is chef's kiss.
He kind of when he's in his rebellion persona, he just looks like a scoundrel type mastermind, but when he's playing his upscale art dealer, he wears this ridiculous toupee.
Oh no, he
wig or whatever.
He even does the full actor sitting down in the mirror in their dressing room, and he sits there and he's like, he does a couple hand motions, and he's trying to get back into the character. He's like, oh yes, what do I do? And you can see in the moment in his eyes, and honestly I think they're really just filming Stellan Skarsgård actually getting into the character too, and it was perfect for the thing. He's like, no, I gotta get into character, and then he's just like, yes, and he goes, hello, and you're like, yeah, all right, you pompous asshole, that's perfect, that's great cover. And Andy Serkis shows up for 3 episodes,
We talked
and
about that last
He's
Just-
probably the best character. Probably should have made him an alien if you were going to make anyone an alien.
if that motherfucker doesn't at least get an Emmy nomination for this movie or for the show, the Emmys are more broken than I already thought they were.
So Peter, I have a question.
He should win, but
Go for it.
he should win, but he might not. But he at least deserves the nom.
What happened to the other 4,998 people?
They probably drowned.
A good portion of them drowned. There might have been others that got away,
Yeah.
theoretically.
This
Might
is
have
this isn't something we would know from books or shit. They probably mostly died.
This movie, the show is called Andor. They're gonna follow Andor and whoever's with him.
I get that, but I feel like more than one dude should have made it to that particular island with him. Especially because when he fell off, he didn't even, like, it wasn't like he was like, oh, I'm jumping with everyone. Like, no, he was trying to talk his friend and say, hey, man, it's going to be okay. Like, I'm going to help you out. And then kind of just got...
We don't necessarily know exactly where they were in the ocean. They probably could have gone different directions and found places, or most likely, again, a good portion of them definitely drowned.
If you're looking at, they were
a semblance of a leader couldn't swim and had to stay behind on the prison, so it's not like they're going to be sticking together after this.
No, they literally
know each other.
It's like a donut in the middle of the ocean, and they are all swimming away from it in all directions. So yeah, theoretically, maybe Andor did just get lucky, and he was the only one pointed in the right direction, and that's why they got out of there. Though I didn't realize. So the guy that's hanging out with him there, Melshi, if I remember correctly, that's actually the two of them that when they actually escape, they are going around. He's in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it at first. I was looking at some stuff and listening to some stuff, and I'm like, oh, that motherfucker is in Rogue One. He's on, not in Rogue One. He's on Rogue One when they take off, kind of thing like that. He's one of the like the 6 guys that volunteers, because like, you know, me and Cass go way back. I'm like, I actually kind of like that one because they're like, yeah, no, me and Cass go way back. We've been doing this for a while, not since we were 6, but
yeah. I don't know where he got that fucking line from.
I mean, the only thing I can think is
could be a lie.
That's when Marva
Just
kidnapped him, essentially.
You know,
yeah, but
or maybe he considers it. Maybe the reason he was even there with no parents and just with a bunch of weird random kids on some random planet where nobody else is because of something that happened because of that too. So he considers that being part of the fight. So I guess it was technically a separatist ship that crashed. So that was during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that was during the Clone Wars. He got kidnapped before
the fall of the separatists and the rise of the Empire.
So, what the fuck were you trying to say, Andor? With the whole "I've been in this fight since I was 6" thing.
Maybe
it sounds like to me like someone didn't watch Rogue One when they wrote the script.
Well, Tony Gilroy.
It's almost like that's a big problem with all current Star Wars.
I will say that's probably not correct because the guy who wrote Rogue One also wrote and directed that episode and was the showrunner for the entire series.
Then he forgot what he wrote.
Maybe it was just an exaggerated bluff.
Again, that
He
seems
was like, I've been here doing it since I was 6. And everybody's like, well, I'll take your word for it. And he's like, no, fuck.
That seems, I will say,
Figured speech.
again, that
Say
seems,
I've been doing it for a long time. That's what I said.
that seems like a very Andor thing to do. He's like, I've been in this since I was, you think you're hard? I was been in this since I was 6.
Yeah. I've been doing it since I was 6. Really? 6 years old? No. I've just been doing it for a long fucking time.
You've been doing it since you were 8? I've been doing it since I was 6. Fine. I'm better than you. Just listen to me, asshole. And he's not wrong. He is better than them. He is good at it.
This is kind of a random thing.
Okay.
That I kind of realized today. It's still Star Wars related.
I mean,
But y'all saw the Solo movie, right?
yeah.
And we've talked about Kenobi. It disturbed me a great deal to learn that those two things, Solo and Kenobi, were only a year apart from each other timeline-wise.
How
Yes.
is that possible?
Technically.
Han Solo
No,
is
yeah, that makes
significantly
sense.
older than Leia, and that bothered me.
There's a pretty big gap there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a 20-year age difference.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
We always
before.
kind of knew it, but I never liked seeing it because we see
Like,
he's an adult doing a bunch of adult shit after abandoning the military, and she's a small child sassing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, there's like what, a 10, 15-year age gap?
Definitely more than that.
He's got to be. I think he's.
He was. I think we know he was a kid during the Clone Wars, right?
He was. I think Han, if I remember correctly, was like when he actually got off Corellia there and joined the military. He, believe, was technically 17.
Well, that only makes him. Because how old was
And that was
Leia
when he
in
was
that?
off Corellia. So then he was, and then he was. Then when he was actually stationed and deployed, he was done for like 2 years or something like that. So he's like 19, and there's like a 12. No,
Because how old is Leia in Kenobi?
we can
Like,
look this up. Jesus Christ! Why
I
not?
did.
Thank you. You're faster than me.
I was already looking it up.
Thank you.
So he was born in 32 BBY,
Okay.
and she was born in
19 BBY. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an 12-year difference there? Yeah, 12-year difference.
13, but yeah.
13.
That still doesn't feel right.
No.
She was a consenting adult.
Are you kidding? I was
31 minus 19 is 12.
I was with a
I'm not
30-year-old when I was
crazy.
20, so 19.
Yeah.
So
That seems reasonable. Actually, a 12-year age gap is not that big. It's still weird, but it's not that big.
that's not a big gap.
It's not as bad as I thought it was.
It's not like a grandpa going, "Hey, how you doing?"
It's not if
What?
Obi-Wan.
No,
How are
it-
you,
I mean-
little girl?
It is 13 because 32 minus 19.
You said
It's
31.
That's my bad. I fucked that up. It's
Oh.
32.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not wrong. You said 31.
I said the wrong number. That's my fault.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
2-year difference.
Well, I'm
Does
like,
that make a difference?
because he's like, that's 13 years. He corrected me. I'm like, I can do math.
Yeah, you can.
31 minus 19 is definitely 12. And
Either
that works
way,
out- every
It's-
time that works out
it
the
just
same.
wasn't a visual I enjoyed seeing at all because it's like that's really fucking weird.
The weird part is the battle in Solo, like where he actually like gets thrown in the pit with Chewbacca. That's the one Cassian ran away from as a cook.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So Cassian also was I guess drafted into the Imperial military at one point in time. He was
He's
on the
Falcon.
same planet in the same battles that Han was in when he's in the mud there. That's the mud that he said that he died in, and they were fighting each other, kind of thing like that. So Han got out at the right time too.
Alrighty then.
Two of my favorite people in the entire thing are both defectors and
Defectors.
probably should be, I believe, the quote, hung from their neck until they are dead.
Yes.
Well, neither of them die that way, so
True.
Shot in a firing line.
that was, I think, the one real gripe I have with the show is the cliffhanger at the end. I don't want to say anything because again, we're trying to
Again,
get
I don't think that was
time to
too.
watch it, right?
That wasn't really cliffhanger. That was just supposed to be, hey, you know what's going to happen. Now get excited for season 2, where we show you what he actually does for the rebellion now that he's joined it.
Like I get where you're coming from with that statement, but you're wrong because they didn't need to leave it on a cliffhanger like that.
How is that a cliffhanger?
It is because they didn't confirm either decision.
But you already know the answer.
They're trying to get people who haven't seen Rogue One and just picked this up because it's Star Wars to be like, what's gonna happen?
Well, why
Okay,
haven't they seen Rogue One? They're fucking
Why
Time
haven't
idiots.
they seen
Yeah,
Rogue One?
No one.
And no
like,
Star Wars
if
fan
you're-
is gonna be like,
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
man, I'm
not
just
just
picking
gonna
this up.
randomly watch Andor because you're like, oh yeah, there's a Star Wars thing. No, like if you are like into Star Wars, you're gonna watch pretty much all the You're not gonna just randomly skip something.
Well, except for
Do
Resistance.
you know how many people just jumped into the Mandalorian show without having watched any prior Star Wars?
Quite a few. That was a lot.
Exactly.
But I would say Andor, especially the way it was marketed and really not marketed, I think is the bigger thing about it. Because they marketed the shit out of Mandalorian. They're like, we got a shiny guy with guns, and we got a fancy little baby that is super
But
cute.
I kind of feel
Do you want to
like-
watch this show? And everybody's like, yeah, I do. Andor, they kind of did. Hey, are you way too into Star Wars? Do you really want to dive into what made this thing, the rebellion, happen? Did you like Rogue One? Maybe you'll like Andor.
Yeah, like I mean, honestly, because if you think about it, you could kind of watch Mandalorian casually without having seen too much other Star Wars stuff, and I don't feel like you would have been too confused. But Andor, like straight up, like I can't see anyone casually just going in and being like, oh, what's this about?
I think you actually could have enjoyed the Mandalorian more, in fact, if you're coming into it fresh, because then all of Dave Filoni's forced cameos wouldn't have really bothered you as much, because you're like, oh, that's an interesting new guy. Who's that guy? I'm like, there's more than 6 people in the universe, guys. Jesus Christ, Dave.
You do
Baby
know.
Yoda. You'd be like, who the fuck is Baby Yoda? Why
that's
do
my
you keep
only
calling
issue.
him Baby
You,
Yoda?
you do know that like.
Who's Yoda? Why is
I
it-
didn't even
Why is
know
it Baby
Dave
Yoda?
Filoni made a cameo until we watched the behind the scenes thing, and I was like, "Oh shit, was he really in there?"
Yeah.
And
Dave
you're
does.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
how
but
did
it's
you
about
not notice
throwing
him?
the fuck up. It's about him throwing all of these characters that he refuses to not include in a story.
Exactly. No, actually, Dave Filoni is also in the 3rd episode of Andor. He's one of the citizens of Ferrix banging on the walls.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But to counter that point, Andor is absolutely a show that you could jump into without really having seen much Star Wars prior and still be fine.
That is also true. I will say that.
I think that you could be fine, but I also think like if you weren't really into Star Wars, that it would be extremely boring.
I disagree strongly.
That's what I will say. I'm gonna agree with you, Peter, on that one. I think, like I said, you could have taken the Star Wars out of it. You could have just had it. You literally could not have said anything that you could change, copy and pasted all of the names to a different like fantasy setting, and it would have worked just as well. You could have changed Coruscant to Washington D.C., and it would have worked just as well. And they would have had regular cars instead of flying cars, and the whole show would still be as compelling.
Oh, no.
Like I said, West Wing. It's more West Wing.
For me, I just feel like there was such like big parts of it where I just got so bored. It was just like, I don't care.
Again, but that one was mostly about the tour de force performances that they were putting on with their acting and the subtle intonations of it. It's a true drama and definitely in more of a way than any other Star Wars media has been. But they also do a really good job of, like, in kind of the quote-unquote arcs they have on it, they tell a great story in the genre that they're doing. Because they have the first 3 episodes is really just kind of the roguish asshole arc that you follow Andor and you're like, okay, he's kind of a dick, but he gets results. All right. And then the next arc is basically the it's the train heist arc, and which is dope. Then they got the prison break arc, and then they got the rebellion arc at the end, kind of thing like that. And you're like, and each one of them, even separately, works really well as a story in the genre that they're trying to tell there as well.
Yeah,
the prison break one might be one of the best prison breaks I've just ever seen.
It's very well done.
It's and again, Andy Serkis, the motherfucker should get all the awards for this. He was the perfect casting for it too. People are so
I want to say a bunch of people behind the show have not confirmed whether or not his character's actually dead.
Like I said, there's a possibility he lives. That's another reason the show's kind of good is they've left everything ambiguous. They're like, and again, they wrote down apparently. I was reading an interview with Tony Gilroy, and they put down like the basic like they didn't write all the scripts, but they knew the story of both seasons because they was originally going to do 5, and they just realized we can do it in 2. And it'll be better in 2. It'll be tighter. It'll be good. And they did all of that in like 3 days. Like sat down in the writers' room.
Is that why they broke it down to like what was it, 13 episodes?
Yeah.
Because wasn't it originally supposed to be 24?
It is 24 episodes, but it's 2 12-episode seasons now.
Yes, that's what I was asking. Is instead of doing one big 24 episode, is they split it, and so season 1 and then.
Yeah, because they actually did what Star Wars, when Disney bought Star Wars, they actually did what they should have done in the fucking first place and wrote down the whole story, what they wanted to do, and then fill in the details afterwards. But you got to have A to Z, and then you start filling B, C, D, E, and F. Like the MCU did. They did a great job with that, at least first 3 phases. They had a very set thing where they wanted to go. And then, yeah, you got to play in that area there, but they're like, you still got to get to this ending because that's where we're going. And, yeah, have fun getting there, but this is where we're going. This is where we're starting. This is where we're finishing. It's how it works. And they had nothing for that for definitely at least the sequel trilogies. They were like, we get to do Star Wars. Do it. And they're like, I guess whatever I want then? No direction, really?
Cool.
Oh, and now you're mad at the end and you're going to fire me because I didn't go the direction you wanted to, even though you didn't tell me what direction I was supposed to go? All right. I guess... Bye. That's me.
Oh, I thought it was a cat.
He did too.
Yeah. Who are you?
But seriously, watch Andor. It's fantastic.
We also binged Tales of the Jedi.
I have not done that.
I agree with the original synopsis that you guys talked about last time. Like, the Ahsoka stuff was okay, and you know I love my girl Ahsoka, but it was definitely unnecessary. I kind of wish they had just followed Dooku the whole time.
The Dooku shit was good.
Yeah, but Filoni can't help but shove his characters into other shit.
Yeah, 100%. But Dooku was good, and a little, like I said, the Ahsoka wasn't bad, and you got to see some stuff from some perspectives that you hadn't seen it before, and it was, like I said, it was okay.
Yeah, because it was like what? It was 6 episodes, and it was 3 Dooku focused and 3 Ahsoka focused.
I would have enjoyed more Dooku.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
I liked
His arc was
seeing
great. That
the origin of Ahsoka, like how I don't.
but
Like,
they
it was
didn't even
cool
really
to
do the
see
origin
her.
of Ahsoka
Yeah,
either.
yeah. That's why I kind of like was like pause, reflect. Like it was nice to see her like hometown,
No, I guess
and like her, like the family, like how she was, how her.
though Peter will probably get with me on this one. I was surprised that that's what the story they actually went with, and not the
He
story.
hasn't watched it.
Well, no, I was saying, but I'm surprised the story they went with is not the one where like it's her quote unquote Jedi origin story where she actually like gets picked up and taken to the temple. Because I really thought Dave Filoni was going to figure out how to shove Plo Koon in there too.
Yeah, like honestly, I would have liked that better if they had done like Ahsoka Plo Koon shit. That would have been like badass.
From what I understand, aren't the Ahsoka episodes like very, very loosely adapted from her book?
Very loosely, yes, but yes.
Yeah. So he managed to decanonize an entire other ass work with 3 episodes of a show.
But
I
it
mean,
was
the first episode was really just like the baby is born, and then like her mom takes her out into the woods, and she uses the Force to communicate with like the tiger thing that's about to eat them, and then they're like, oh, Ahsoka is Jedi.
no, her first.
I mean, I really do want to refocus on the fact that he decanonized an entire ass book that was written after Disney took over and purchased it for the sake of 3 episodes of a show that weren't very good.
I mean, I didn't.
the
Shit
book.
all the time.
I will say the book was also written based on an outline that Dave Filoni gave to the author. And
So
then-
he can't even keep his own stories straight.
No, he used that outline again, and he just said basically because there's already been a bunch of stuff about this. The interview was he goes, well, it's just stories, and you should just enjoy it basically, and and he's not wrong. Who gives a fuck? But the whole point was of Disney getting rid of all the other extended universe stuff was to canonize and make sure everything was clear, and then they're like, fuck it, we're not even gonna try.
And then the second Ahsoka episode, and it doesn't go like Ahsoka. It was like
I figured it
Ahsoka,
would swap back
Dooku,
and
Dooka,
forth.
Ahsoka, Dooku, and then Ahsoka, right?
Did you say Duka?
Maybe.
Duka,
Did you say Ahsoka, Duka?
I knew what I meant.
Ahsoka Duka Duka, Ahsoka Duka Duka.
So the second Ahsoka episode is like she has to go do this like training test thing, and Anakin and Obi-Wan are there, and I was literally like, this makes no sense because this had to have happened after the Clone Wars movie, because the Clone Wars movie is where Ahsoka and Anakin meet, but like this, it just seemed like out of place, like it just didn't.
Yeah, the test didn't really make sense because they're like, oh, it's supposed to simulate battle droids. I'm like, well, we've
But
already
she's
seen her
already
on
been
screen murder a
bad.
couple thousand of battle droids. I think she's probably okay and didn't really need to take the test back at the
And
temple.
then they tried to like,
Couldn't you take Obi-Wan's word for it? No, I saw her murder a bunch of them. They're good.
and then they had tried to like tie it with a little bow by being like, oh yeah, this is the training she used at the end of season 7 when after she takes Rex's chip out, and they're like gonna go.
And they got to fuck up the half the entire 501st Legion.
Yeah.
And they all have their that scene is still. I love that scene though because it was really kind of neat on that one because you got to see it from the other side. Because in season 7 of the Clone Wars, you see it from the clones' perspective. Like they're getting on the radio from Captain Rex and they hear him like, oh, he's bringing her down here. He's got her in custody. You see it from that side. But so in this episode that they did, basically you see it from Ahsoka and Rex's position. He goes, well, I hope all this training pays off. And then they walk out and you just see 500 clones with her face painted on their face. And you're like, oh, she kills all of these dudes. Oh, fuck.
And
Well,
then
Maul, to be fair, kills a lot of them, but she does release Maul to do that.
It's
After saying she doesn't want to kill any of the clones because they're being, mind controlled.
And then the
she
last
doesn't want to kill them.
That wasn't really thought out very well, and just kind of.
That seems very Jedi though. I didn't kill them. I didn't pull the trigger.
She is not Jedi.
And
then the last Ahsoka episode is basically like she goes to Padme's funeral, and then it's like a little interaction between her and Bail. And then like she's like working on this random farm, and an Inquisitor comes to find her, and she ends up calling Bail for help. And I guess that's supposed to be like how she became Fulcrum.
Yeah, that's the part that's loosely based on the Ahsoka novel.
But it's like, yeah, I think it would have been better if you showed me either more Ahsoka Plo Koon shit, or like if you had taken that Padme funeral episode and then showed me more of what happened after Bail.
Yeah, Youngling. I would have enjoyed more Youngling Tano.
3 episodes of a show. It was 1 episode of a show decanonizing the book.
Yeah, pretty much.
But wasn't Ahsoka like?
But they're also
Anakin's
very
Padawan?
similar, and
Yes.
and they changed all the names, so technically it could have just been a
Similar
completely
doesn't
separate
stop
incident.
it from-
Hang on, Tom's trying to remember things.
No, I'm confused at how these episodes go because Ahsoka is Anakin's Padawan,
Yes.
but it sounds like
He
by the
she
time
was-
the Clone Wars happened, she's like 5. Just by the way you guys are explaining it.
No, she's
She
like
was
she's
14
13,
when
14.
when the Clone Wars start.
Well,
Tales of the Jedi jumps through time, so
All
it
over the
goes
place.
like from she's a baby, 14, and then she's what?
20 something.
Yeah,
18.
20 something, late teens, early 20s by the end of that
Because I
that
think the
last
Clone
episode.
Wars lasts for like between 4 and 6 years. I always forget how long it actually.
Because even
lasts.
the Dooku episodes jump, so it starts off with like a young Dooku when Qui-Gon was still his Padawan. Like I didn't even realize that was Qui-Gon until the end when he was like, "Come, Qui-Gon." I was like, "Oh shit." And then it jumps to like him a little bit older, and it's like a him and Mace episode.
Windu.
Yeah, and like kind of more of him taking things into his old hand, and you kind of start to see how he's like,
Chafing under the rule of the Jedi Council.
yeah. And then the last episode for Dooku really shows his like fall and how he became
Oh, it's
a
really
separatist and a
it's-
Sith
It's really powerful. It's sandwich. That one's really neat because it's takes place like
during episode.
right at
I-
technically right at the end of episode 1 and before episode 2 starts. Like
They
the death
reference
of
funeral.
Qui-Gon happens in the thing. I mean, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna come to Naboo for the funeral," and he goes, "I just don't think I'd be very good company." And you're like, "Oh, damn!" And unfortunately, they did get the guy who voices him in Clone Wars, who does an amazing job. It's obviously not Christopher Lee, but Qui-Gon is actually Liam Neeson, because apparently he has nothing better to do than sit in a recording studio and do Liam Neeson voice now, and it's kind of fantastic. I'm like, I do love that he still loves the
I know
character
he-
of Qui-Gon, and he goes, "Yeah, whatever you need me for, I'll
I
be
know
back."
you guys weren't particularly fans, but if they were to do like a season 2 of Obi-Wan, and they were like, "This is gonna be like Qui-Gon's Force ghost teaching Obi-Wan the ways," like Liam Neeson would be there in a heartbeat.
And I would enjoy that show, I think, way more than I would have enjoyed season 1. And I didn't have it. I don't really have a problem with Obi-Wan and Kenobi. I just thought it could have been executed better, but there were some great parts to it. I just think there was definitely parts that could have been executed better.
I think if they had to do it the way they did, they should have made it a movie and cut out a lot of the inane bullshit.
Again, like I said,
See,
could
that's
have
how
been
I felt
executed a lot
about
better.
Andor.
No, Andor. I wanted more.
Andor, to me, there was not a wasted scene.
Oh, and they were all chewing the scenery in every one of those scenes.
Except for
too.
maybe that last after credit scene.
that was.
What was the after?
But it's an after credit scene in the last episode, so
It was the only after credit scene in the whole series too. But
yeah.
it was the. Well, again, I guess it's not spoilers. It zooms out and they're building the Death Star
Oh
already.
Yeah.
Above
Because it's like,
Scarif.
no fucking shit, that's what those parts were for. Like,
Yeah, they're working in a labor prison and they're building parts for something. They're like, what are they building it for? Everybody's freaking out. And it's like, no, fucking look at it. It's definitely the array for creating the beams for the Death Star. Are you fucking morons? That's definitely what's going.
How would they know that?
No. People
No.
online
Oh.
People online going, I wonder what they're building the prison. Like one of the most prevailing.
You said that too until the end.
No, one of the most prevailing theories that there was like, oh, they're just building them on one floor, and then they send them down for one more floor, and they get taken apart, and then they send back up at the floor, and they put them together. And people are like, no, the Empire is definitely exploiting their labor. Pretty sure they got a real big project they're working on, and there's only so much slave Wookiee labor. So we'll just get a bunch of indentured servants in prison.
So go watch it, Tom.
Probably will.
You can probably, if you do Tales of the Jedi, I'd say just skip the Ahsoka episodes and just watch the Dooku ones.
Ouch.
People debating if that was the Death Star kind of reminds me of this thing Jess sent me. It was like an article that said, Rings of Power. Is Isildur related to Aragorn?
Are people fucking
Yes.
stupid? Like, that's the whole point of who Aragorn is as a character, is that he's related to...
Isildur.
He says it all the time.
He carries around Isildur's bane.
Tom's like so hurt right now. He's like, that just
People
hurts
He
my
becomes
soul.
king.
Peter, are you telling me that people actually said that? That can't be a real
Yes.
thing. They're fucking idiots. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's just
What?
We don't know the lore.
On a random aside, they've cast some new people for Rings of Power Season 2.
Who are they casting? Do you actually know?
I did read the article, don't remember, because I didn't put that on my notes. 'Cause
Oh, well.
This was like some time ago.
Well, fine. Anyway, well, we can move on from Andor. I think we all agreed that it was fucking amazing. You should go watch it.
Yeah.
And Stephanie doesn't like
does not agree.
And Stephanie doesn't like TV drama.
Did
Did
you
you-
like House of Cards?
I didn't watch House of Cards.
Also
You
think
like
I
Down-
shot on
you-
Dave Filoni enough for today.
You like Downton Abbey.
I do like Downton Abbey.
This was all of the Mon Mothma scenes were Downton Abbey. Like, that was full on Downton Abbey shit,
Yeah.
I agree.
and they were great. I do like her. Freaking...
Okay, I'm sorry. Random aside. Fucking, I know that I'm late to the bus here because this show's been wrapped up for a while, but I just fucking finished season 3 of Downton Abbey, and they motherfucking killed off Matthew, and I was like, are you fucking shitting me? After 3 seasons of trying to get him and Mary together, and you just kill him off in a bullshit car crash?
I don't think
They
any
Killed
of
off
us know.
Matthew?
I don't know anything about really Downton
I have
Abbey.
no fucking
Remember-
idea.
Was he the dude in prison?
No, remember that when you asked me, oh, did those two finally get married? And I said, yeah, they're finally engaged.
Oh, and then they killed him?
Then they killed him. After they got
Great.
married and she had a baby.
Fantastic.
That sucks.
Great.
Yeah, I was really mad.
That's real funny.
That
I-
happens.
So mad. Anyway,
Okay, another Andor. One last thing I want to say about Andor is, all right, so Mon Mothma's husband, Perrin, something like that. Mon Mothma's husband, who they don't like each other, and it's great. Their dynamic is fantastic. It's the most broken household I've seen in Star Wars. It felt right at home. But he just gives me the most, like, his vibe to me is guy who owns multiple katanas he bought from the store in the mall.
He walks around and goes,
And you all know exactly the person I'm talking
But
about.
you know
And
that
come on,
makes-
those vibes are straight up.
it's the
But-
guy with the fucking ponytail that has bald receding
basically,
hairline.
yes,
Oh,
except he doesn't.
He doesn't have a receding hairline, but you are exactly right about
But
that.
I mean, that
He's
theory.
wears the top knot and robes. He's like, I'm just trying to. Basically, he's like, you know who was kind of cool? The Jedi. I know we don't like them, but man,
Wait.
their drip was on point.
But no, that even stands because when she goes into the gallery to look for a present for her husband, immediately he's like, "Oh, let me show you the new weapons I got in."
No, he is definitely mall katana guy, and it's just, it's the greatest. It's a vibe. It's a vibe, and there's a lot of characters that I love to hate in Andor.
This katana is Japanese steel.
It's folded a
It's
thousand
folded
times.
1,000 times by a old Japanese man in an old factory.
And it says made in China on the bottom of it.
It's just a little star made in China.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I got my Japanese samurai sword. Where
I
where's
don't
it
use
from?
this one because this one is like my special one.
I believe it's from Kyoto. It says here made in Shanghai. Close enough.
Sorry, close enough.
Close
It's got to
enough.
be in Japan.
All one decorative. They'll break on one swing.
100%.
This one I used to cut tree limbs with. I've cut bottles with this one.
2 liters go down hard.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, that is the vibes I was getting
I've
from
cut
him.
through
It's kind of
three
great.
2 liters, which means I probably could cut through a human torso.
Pretty sure. You
does
know how much
kind of
resistance
shoot
there is
that a
to
little
water? Cut this thing so sharp. Look at it, it'll cut you.
You could cut this. You could play freaking what's that goddamn game? Fruit Ninja.
Real life fruit ninja. Terrible. Oh Lord.
Speaking of vibes, Christmassy vibes.
We're getting sort of close to Christmas. We are within the legal zone for Christmas.
So, we watched
It's after
this
Thanksgiving. We're in the legal zone.
movie on Apple TV Plus, called Spirited, and it stars Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. And
And
it's
it's not Elf 2 or Deadpool 3.
it's basically
It's basically both.
it's kind of like it's basically a Christmas Carol, but with a new musical twist on it. So Will Ferrell basically
He's the ghost of Christmas present.
yeah, so like it's like a whole production thing, and like they basically spend a year researching somebody whose like life they're gonna change by doing the past, present, future thing. And Tracy Morgan plays the ghost of Christmas future, but like so he just does the voice because it's like the big death thing. But whenever he's in front of like people, all he can do is point. He can't even.
He can't talk. But like if he's in front of a human, like when he does it like basically the rules come down and all he does is point to, oh, there's your gravestone, and he's like, I'm real good at it, but I can't do anything. Like, but it's Tracy Morgan all the other time. And he's like, what's up, motherfuckers? How we doing? But he doesn't actually say motherfuckers. I don't think he does, but he probably thinks it. But no, it's just full on Tracy Morgan under the costume, and it's like the guy who's doing the puppeteering for it is great because he's got his mannerisms down pretty good too. Like even the bone hands are doing like the all over the place.
I don't think that was a puppet. I think that was someone in a practical suit.
It's a guy in the suit, but like I said, he's got his motions down. It's pretty solid.
So Ryan Reynolds plays like
They're
really
Scrooge, yeah, the modern day Scrooge.
And it turns out that Will Smith.
Oh, don't give it's a good movie. We don't need to be giving away spoilers. This is now reached this. It's in my top 5 Christmas movies of all time.
But you can only watch it if you have Apple TV.
It had a theatrical release.
Oh, did it?
But I will say 100%. It is now in my top 5 Christmas movies of all time. I think it's number 4. I would say number 4. It's fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think that Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell need to make about 1,000 more movies together because their on-screen chemistry was wonderful.
And I typically don't like Will Ferrell movies. He annoys me.
Why?
Because he annoys me.
Because you're broken inside. Get it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry.
He's not everybody's cup of tea. I will say that. I agree with Stephanie on
It
that
can
one.
be a bit much sometimes.
I think that's her biggest issue. And he was actually the under the top one on this one.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds was the over the top one in this one, and it really worked with that dynamic that Will Ferrell was basically playing the straight man in this movie, and you're like, okay, this is working pretty good.
Yeah, like I like him in his serious roles. Like I liked him.
Now she can't think of any.
It was half serious, half not. But like the Lego Movie, like
That is not a serious role.
that's why I said. Well, when he was like,
I guess when he's the human version,
when he's
kinda.
actually the dad, yeah, it's kind of serious and dark.
Will Ferrell, have you done any actual serious roles?
Yes. Everything Must Go, if I remember correctly. One, he plays a man who gets his wife kicks him out of his house, and he basically lives on his lawn and sells off his possessions slowly.
I do remember
Then there's the one, oh, what is it? He's the one it's the one where he becomes he's a character in a book, but he becomes sentient and can start hearing the narration.
Stranger Than Fiction.
Which was technically a comedy, but it was a very black comedy. It was dark. It was pretty bleak at the end there because she's like, I got to figure out how to murder you well. And he goes, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
It's fucking, like I said, it got intense. He does have some actually very good serious dramatic roles, but and his best movies are the ones where either he goes so far over the top that you can't help but go, okay, that's ridiculous, or when he plays it subtle, he does better, I think. Boys, seriously, dumb cats. But I mean, Elf is in my top 5 Christmas movies of all time too, because that's just a cheerful, heartwarming tale.
You're not wrong.
The only thing I ever remember about that movie is that. Nope, that wasn't that movie. Just kidding. Never mind.
Wait, what was it?
I was thinking of the Santa Claus.
Santa, I know him.
Well, that's actually a weird one.
But like, what was the thing you thought of that you thought was from that?
Oh, at the end when the one guy gets his weenie whistle.
The Oscar Mayer wiener whistle. Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie's stepdad. God, why do I know so much about the Santa Claus?
I don't.
Because it was a good movie.
Scott Calvin, obviously played by
Tim Allen.
Have any of y'all watched this show?
No, but I have a really fun extra bit later that we'll talk about when we get there.
I'm kind of avoiding it right now.
Same.
I'm staying in the Christmas theme though. We also went and saw Violent Night, which I do recommend.
Which, honestly, if you took out the blood and gore, would be an amazing kids' Christmas movie, but should never be shown to a child.
It's basically like if Home Alone and Die Hard had a baby, a rated R baby.
They strayed more to the Die Hard side of things, but also with murder, but slapstick murder. He does run over a guy with a snowplow at one point in time.
He murders someone by bringing them up the chimney with him.
That one was dope, actually. He uses his Christmas magic and grabs the guy and basically, he doesn't turn into pixie dust and fly up the chimney. He just gets taken up the 6-inch flue, and you know what happens then when you try and put a 3-foot wide man into a 6-inch hole. Quite liquefied.
He stabbed a guy in the eye with the Christmas tree star, and then plugged it in.
And they electrocutes him. It's pretty odd. But they went with Santa's origin story was that he was a Viking berserker that used to murder all the Danes he wanted with his Warhammer Skull Crusher. So yeah, he does go ham on some dudes with a sledgehammer at one point in time. During most of the movie, his preferred weapon of choice is a 9-pound sledge, and he is fucking people up with it. But then the little girl in the movie does they let her stay up late the night before and watch Home Alone, so she does the Home Alone style traps. But they show you what would have actually happened had those burglars fallen for those Home Alone style traps and how utterly brutal they would have been to them. Oh, like, instead of just, ow, shig, frig, darg, ersh, burf, like...
These guys are going,
Oh, fuck!
Okay. The most brutal one is she does...
Oh, I can't... Hold on.
She doesn't want to listen to this. No, so she does the whole... She's got, like, the welcome mat with the nails sticking up, and she's got it to the ladder leading up to the act, and the guy's sitting there going, ha, 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 good try. I've seen Home Alone, too. And so he goes around it, and he starts stepping up the ladder. But no, she sawed the 2nd and 3rd steps on the ladder off, and the 5th step of the ladder has another 3-inch nail sticking up. So it goes right through his chin, and he's sitting there screaming, going, ah, because now his legs, he's literally hanging from his chin and jaw with a nail. He has no purchase on his legs. Oh, so then the other person goes, you'll be fine, and goes around him and just does not help him up, doesn't do anything, lets him down there. And then the girl, for some reason, there's 14 bowling balls in a bag in the attic. So she lets the bowling ball go, comes down, hits that guy in the head. It rips it out of his thing. He falls down ass first onto the mat full of knives. Then is able to unstick himself. Then the girl upstairs finally gets enough one. She falls out. They both hit down, and he slams face first onto the knives thing, and he's dead. And then she's almost dead too. And then the ball comes down and crushes her face. It's so fucked up. It's great. It's like that's what actually would have happened to Joe Pesci, and I don't want to see that happen to Joe Pesci. No.
Sounds horrible.
Okay. It was well again. If you took out all the extremely gratuitous violence, it would have been a great
The whole
kid
time
heartless
you're
That was
going-
the
children's movie.
only.
Just going, oh!
Yeah, that was
No,
the
the
only
whole
one that
theater's
got
going-
to me.
The whole theater when he went, huh, everybody goes, no, oh no, no, no. Everybody in the entire theater was screaming. Like I don't think anybody heard the next like 3 lines of dialogue because everybody's no, no, oh no, stop it, no. It was pretty good.
Okay.
But overall, the movie was solid. It's a decent heist movie. There's a good twist, and Santa fucks some dudes up, straight up.
8 cats.
Dang.
I haven't heard of this one before, but I have seen a trailer for another Christmas horror movie.
Oh yeah.
It's The Mean One,
Oh yeah,
oh,
the
yeah.
horror Grinch one
They're-
where. Oh hello.
and it looks real bad, but I'm probably gonna go see it.
like bad as in like this is like a shouldn't have even been a made for TV movie
Bad as in I was surprised that it wasn't made by Asylum when I looked it up on Wikipedia.
or Magnet.
Yeah, it does not look good at all.
Well, there are some good Magnet films out there.
And Asylum can be enjoyed if you have people there to make fun of it.
It's the you have to be watching in the right environment. You are correct. They're never good, but they can be
No.
very enjoyable.
Exactly.
Speaking of something that might not be good, but it'll at least be enjoyable.
It might not
Am I
be
getting
enjoyable.
there?
It might not be enjoyable either.
The Indiana Jones trailer was released.
That actually looks really good. What are y'all talking about?
Like I said, but hey, Kingdom of the Crystal
Zach-
Skull looked really good when its trailers were coming out too.
Zach
And
has
we've discussed that that's an acceptable movie.
reservations
Acceptable.
because he thinks it might be time travel.
Oh, I extremely doubt that.
No, the Dial of Destiny is the tagline.
Yeah. That sounds like time travel.
It-
Dial.
and there's definitely there's a lot of flashback scenes with real young Harrison Ford. There's scenes with old ass Harrison Ford still doing his own stunts. Whoever the stunt guy
yeah,
is, they got
but I
him
don't-
does look
So
old.
they're gonna
That
pull some
doesn't-
Doctor Who shit.
Okay, time out. I don't think that was necessarily going to be in the movie. I think that was just for like visual effects for the trailer with how so it basically opens with him being like I don't really believe in magic, and then it's showing you some flashback scenes of previous things, and he's like, but I've seen some things in my time.
I don't believe
And-
in magic, but
and
I've
he
seen
goes-
fucking God come out of a box and eat every person around
he
me, every
goes-
Nazi around me.
So he goes and he's like, and I don't think it. What does he say? I don't think it's necessarily what you believe, but how hard you believe it.
I've seen aliens. Like, come on, man.
I think they're just gonna. Honestly, it looks like they're just gonna pretend that one didn't exist. But yeah, it's supposed to take place in 1969, but they're still fighting. But instead of fighting the Ruskies like they were in number 4, they're back to fighting Nazis. And I'm like, where did they find a contingent of Nazis in 1969 that is well funded and ready to fight?
So I mean, I looked it up because I was curious. There is a basic premise listed for it already. It's about the space race, and Jones is uneasy about the fact that the U.S. government recruited former Nazis to help beat the Soviet Union.
Okay. Now I'm seeing what. Okay. Oh my God, is Indiana Jones gonna kill Robert Goddard? Because that might be amazing. I'm in for this movie now.
God, he said he didn't believe in fucking magic, but he fucking was tortured by a fucking Aztec priest. And
Yeah,
his
he
heart
had
was
his
grabbed.
heart. He had his heart.
Come on.
ripped
He
out.
brought his father back from the dead.
Yeah.
He has literally held the Holy Grail
The
in
Holy
his
Grail.
hands.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in magic.
Mind controlled by a rock.
I don't think you've been watching your own movies,
I
bro.
don't think you remember your own
That is
life.
the least believable thing about Indiana Jones, is that he just doesn't believe in magic at this point.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
No, he
Well,
full on
maybe-
believes in magic.
Well,
Come
maybe like
He knows.
when we watch the movie and it's in context, we'll have a better. If
Look.
that line is even in the movie, because it might not even be. It
It's
might
true.
just be a
But
publicity
again,
stunt to like start conversation like we're having.
I'm just feeling the tagline "Dial of Destiny," space technology, Nazis.
Black holes.
I'm thinking. I really think they might go a time travel route, and it's gonna kind of piss me off if they do. But it might not. But we might get a really awful CGI abomination, young Harrison Ford, and that could be interesting. I'm not saying good. I said interesting. We'll see how dead in the eyes he is.
Cool.
But I read a interview today with the director that specifically is basically calling out Phoebe Waller-Bridge is not taking over for Indiana Jones. Nobody else is going to wear his hat. Nobody else is going to be using his whip. This is not the transition story for Indiana Jones and the next generation kind of thing like that.
But it is the last Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, they're going to kill Indy. Finally. Let the man rest in fucking peace. How many Nazis does he have to kill before you let him die? Okay?
All of them.
Guess what? It seems like he's taking out the last couple.
So, I get that that's a statement that's been released. I
don't believe it for a second.
The torch thing, yeah. Because these people are known to often lie about things.
Like I said, I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah. I don't think that they're going to let the IP of Indiana Jones go away. I think they're just going to wait for Harrison Ford to die.
Well, yeah, then they can make another one because he basically said, because if he's alive, no fan will allow you to make it because he's like, no, he's Indiana Jones. If he's not in it, I'm not going to go watch it. But if he dies, then they're like, oh, Harrison Ford wanted us to make this movie, and everybody will go, bullshit, he did not. He didn't want to make 4 or 5, really. He only made 5 because 4 sucked so bad, and he was trying to hopefully gain some respectability back to the character.
I'll die on this hill. Crystal Skull is not that bad of a movie.
But again,
It's a good movie.
critically and publicly panned. It was an okay movie.
Look, I'm sorry that the twist in Crystal Skull wasn't magic, but was in fact aliens. I don't know why magic was more acceptable than aliens all around, but it was a good movie.
I think because the
gonna
whole
be the bad
premise,
tape
like
guy
leading
apparently
up to
online.
there, had been magic, basically. Like, it would have been one thing if like aliens had been introduced at a different time, but I think after magic, and then throwing aliens in there, just kind of.
To be fair, they established that the alien stuff all happened post the original trilogy. And it's not like, because a lot of people is like, oh, they threw it in right at the end that it was aliens. Like, no.
No, it was pretty much throughout that whole movie that it was aliens.
Yeah.
They
We
went
know
to Area
very
51.
early on that it's aliens.
They went to Area 51. You should have known it was aliens coming up.
Yeah.
But
Whatever.
Frankly, I'm glad he wasn't finding another religious artifact after finding the Holy Grail.
he found the holy grail of religious artifacts.
Yeah. Be done with that. Find some other shit.
The Lost Ark.
They did that one.
They already did.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what he found. He found the Lost Ark and he found the Holy Grail.
I guess he needs the Shroud of Turin next.
The Spear of Destiny.
Ooh, the Spear of Destiny.
Fear of Destiny was done in the comic.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
it
there were
was.
comics?
It
I
was.
didn't know.
It'd be a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
there
sure
was a lot.
Spirit Journey would be good.
There was a lot
There
of
was
Indiana Jones
a
comics.
ton of comics. There was like 6 or 7 different games. Most of them were bad.
There was a really terrible TV miniseries for a little bit.
Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it a miniseries because I think it was canceled halfway through its first season.
Let me find out. Because I'm curious.
I know that because I know there was the Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, I believe was the name of it.
The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles lasted 2 seasons, had 28 episodes, and 4 TV specials.
Huh. Yeah, did a little bit more than I thought it did. I haven't seen a
I think
single
it
one
was
of those
actually
episodes.
pretty popular because I have seen this. It's just been when I was like a kid.
Oh, I've definitely never seen it.
Let me see.
So sorry.
Exception.
The other trailer that got released this last week was the trailer for The Last of Us TV show on HBO Max.
No one cares. It won 6 Emmys. Not the
Damn.
trailer.
Damn. 6 straight Emmys? That's not bad.
So wait, you're not
Sorry.
excited for The Last of Us show?
Oh, I think it's a good idea to do a show rather than a movie for once with a video game adaptation because it gives you more time to spend with the characters. I'm not a big fan of the fact that instead of trying to present it through the actions of the characters, they blatantly have Joel look at Ellie and say, "You're not family, you're cargo." I feel like you could have done a better job with that than just saying that as a line.
I do like Pedro Pascal though.
Yeah.
And the clickers are creepy. Still.
I didn't actually see the trailer.
How dare you?
I don't know. It looks fine.
You didn't
I'm
link
gonna watch it because I have HBO Max
Came out
anyway.
it came out after I sent the notes out.
No.
It's just, aside from Sonic, video game adaptations have tried and failed quite a bit in the last.
Have been
Like
pretty
5
lackluster,
years.
yes.
Yeah.
Again, I think the Halo show would have been great if it hadn't been the Halo show.
Right? If it had been something that wasn't Halo.
Oh yeah, it'd have been fantastic, honestly.
Well, I'm looking forward to season 2.
I want to see if they can redeem themselves a little bit.
I still haven't finished season 1. I don't think I ever will.
The last episode is worth watching, even if you just watch.
Maybe I'll go in just to watch the last episode and be like confused for some context, but
You won't be confused for context. You'll be fine. At least watch the last 10 minutes of the last episode. It's worth it.
I love the implication with that I didn't need to see the rest of the show at all.
You could just watch the last episode and go, "That was cool." Why didn't they do that for the rest of the movie or the rest of the show?
I mean, I can sum up until that point what happens.
No, I don't think he. Needs to. Like I said, I don't even think he needs to. I
Master
think
Chief removes his armor and a behavioral trip, fucks a girl, she betrays him, then they fight Covenant.
yeah, pretty much. Yep. There you
Yeah,
go.
see, you already
You
know.
got it.
So yeah, just go watch the last
Yeah,
episode.
just watch him fuck up some. Just watch him and Cortana fuck up some Covenant. It's worth it.
Then
Yeah,
he dies.
kinda.
Well, brain dead at least. I think the body's still there, technically.
Weird cat.
He just doesn't fire his neurons on his own anymore.
He's dead.
Was there anything
Brain
else
dead.
exciting? Oh, Tom played Stray. Tell me
Wow,
about.
that was supposed to be my bit, but all right.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Hey Tom, it's time for extra bits.
I forgot you said you were gonna use that as your bit. I'm sorry.
What did he play?
Stray.
The one where he plays the kitty cat.
The meow mouse.
The game that probably should win Game of the Year, but has no fucking chance of winning
Yes.
Game of the Year.
That one.
Was there anything else anyone else came across that anyone wants to talk about before we do the bits?
I thought we were at the bits. It just
Oh, they're doing a new Transformers movie,
Live action or animated?
live action, but it's rebooting.
Like start-
Again?
What?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I
they're
guess-
doing Beast Wars now.
I guess when did that original one come out? Like 2001? I guess they could do that again, can't they? It wasn't 2001. It was like 2005.
I mean, I guess.
Rise of the Beast coming out next
Yeah,
year.
Rise of the Beast is coming out next year. What the fuck is that?
They're going to be rebooting. It's Beast Wars.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I guess.
Let's see. The original what Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen was in 2008. So why is the original Transformers 2007? Okay. Michael Bay's Transformers started in 2007. So it's about, I guess, for Hollywood, yeah, it's about time for them to do a reboot.
And let's get as far away from the Michael Bay shit as we can.
Yeah, I don't need to see testicles on a robot again.
What?
yeah.
The giant robot that was climbing the pyramid, and he's like, "I'm directly under the robot's scrotum."
Now, the wiki's listing Rise of the Beast as if it's part of that continuity, but it is not.
It is
And
not
yes,
part of the
no,
Michael Bay
It
continuity.
is a reboot. It is not part of the Michael Bay continuity.
Okay.
With Ron Perlman playing Optimus Primal.
Ooh, wait, really? Optimus Primal?
Yeah.
Nice. 'Cause that's
I
the
mean,
one where
Peter
he
Cullen's still going to do Prime, but yeah.
Still regular Prime is Peter Cullen, but it's still so weird the range of voices that Peter Cullen does.
Yes.
It's a very interesting
What is going
range.
on? Okay, well, that's exciting for you.
Oh my god. She sounded so not interested.
Not at all.
I was over Transformers after like the second movie.
Like I said, I think I'm into it now because Michael Bay is not involved.
Are we ready
It
for
might be good.
extra bit?
Chest would be cool on a fucking robot.
Yeah.
Being Eeyore and Optimus Prime, though, is a pretty impressive set of skills.
Thomas.
Oh, it's my turn. So yeah, so like I played Stray. Yeah, you spoiled that earlier.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It wasn't bad. Oh, you guys want me to spoil the premise of it all?
Play as a kitty cat.
Yeah, you play as a kitty cat.
No, don't tell me the story.
Huh?
Don't tell me the story.
Don't tell you the story?
Yeah, don't tell me.
No, it was a good game. I'd give it 5 cats.
It's open world, right?
For the most
Ish.
part. Yeah. I mean, you could finish it in
But there's
probably a few hours, like 2-3 hours, you know. Like you can go straight through the story and not worry about it. But it is kind of one of those games where you can go around and explore the area and then go, "Oh wow, cool." You know, yay. But it's not a bad game. The ending's kind of sad, but it's overall not too bad.
Well, no, I don't want to play it.
she's gonna have to watch the cat die. It's gonna be
No,
hilarious.
cat's fine.
That's not what I heard about the ending.
Yeah, I mean the cat's fine.
Okay, as long as the cat's
What'd
fine.
you hear about the ending? How did it go for you?
Without spoiling anything, it's just sequel bait.
No, I don't think there's any sequel bait there.
Are there multiple
enough.
endings?
Maybe, I don't know.
Let me find out.
Well, he's looking it up. Why don't you tell us about your other bit?
My other bit is a young man who's doing a math problem. And the way his math problem goes is that women equal time and money, right?
Right.
And what is time?
To get a woman, you need both money and time.
Yeah. And so that's what it equals, right?
Yeah.
So women equal time and money. But what is time? Time is money.
Time is money.
So
yeah.
money
So
times
it's-
money.
So it's money times money. So what is money times money?
Money
money squared.
squared.
There you go, money squared. So money squared, when you have money squared, kind of equals problems. But it's the square root of your problems. It's the root of your problems.
Money is the root of all your problems.
Yeah,
That's true.
So if money's the root of all your problems, then on a math, you'd have a square root of p, which would be your problems. But to get rid of the square root, you'd have to square it. So you got money squared equals problems. So women equal problems.
Money equals problems, and women equal problems.
It was pretty good delivery when he did it. So
I had seen it before done as money is the root of all evil, so women are evil. I like that one a little. I like that one a little bit better. The just women equal problems.
Women equal problems is pretty funny. I also like the one where it's that graph where he goes, this is the crazy line.
the
and
hot
then this
crazy
is,
scale.
Yeah, the hot crazy scale.
It actually really upset me when they stole that for How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah.
Barney does it in an episode of How I Met Your Mother, and he's doing it. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, are you even gonna credit the guy who
Yeah.
made the amazing YouTube video on this?
Probably not.
But I just love him because he does it. He does the like, oh yeah, you want it to intersect right here. You want her to be above the line.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be hotter than you are crazy.
Yeah.
Your girl should always be hotter than you are crazy. If she's a 10, if she's a 10 hot, 0 crazy, that's a dude, guys. I'm sorry,
it's a dude.
that's a man.
It's like a shaded area where it says dude.
Yeah, this is the dude zone. Please avoid that area.
Did you get an answer, Peter?
And if you're gonna be below the line,
Yes,
you want her to
I
be
did.
hotter
There
than she
is not
crazy.
multiple endings.
Yeah.
So I went a little further into why that was being said, like why I was hearing that there's sequel bait, and I can't say anything without spoiling anything. So I won't.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
You're the
No
best.
problem.
When are you even gonna play this game?
Soon.
Probably
Zach-
never.
I don't know. Why
Zachary.
you sit there not
No,
letting me
honestly,
spoil
probably
it?
never.
Because if I do end up playing it, then I'm gonna be upset.
You wouldn't be
Just
upset.
spoil
Why?
the ending.
You're not really gonna be that
wanna-
upset.
I don't want to know. La,
The
la,
ending
la,
in and
la,
of itself
la,
is not
la.
very upsetting.
Ow.
You're just mad that it's
No,
over.
it's not just like it's kind of like sad, but it's not like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry my eyes out. This is so sad. It's
Have
just
you
kind of
met
like,
me?
that sucks.
She
you
might
know?
cry.
It's just one of
She's
those.
not the person.
It just sucks. That's all. Because you're like, man, that was kind of shitty. But it kind of gives its own premise. So the premise of the world, just to kind of at least not spoil anything, basically you're surrounded by robots that have become sentient, and those robots like kind of run towns, and you walk through those towns and go through them, experiencing why the robots are there, and then you kind of come to figure out things. But that's it.
All the humans are dead.
You never know.
The
Zachary.
humans are dead.
You don't know.
No, I can only think. of the Flight of the Conchords song. The humans are dead.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Great song.
I fucking loves that song.
It's a great song.
You,
humans are dead.
It's hinted that the humans are dead, but you don't really know that.
Yeah, you can know for sure.
Yeah, because you're only talking about the cities.
We released the poisonous gases, and we poisoned their acids. The humans are dead. Mine is just a really stupid listicle, but I think it actually is very helpful in your everyday life. It is a list of 11 drinks that if you order them at a bar, the bartender is either going to immediately think you're an asshole or an idiot. So read the list.
What are some of the examples?
The bartender will do it, but any sort of flavored ridiculous martini, they hate you for it. They'll do it, and they become very popular, and they're time consuming and a pain in the ass. So they're just gonna hate you a little bit for it. The other one was ordering anything ridiculous mocktails. Like I want a virgin Negroni. I'm like, well, that has Scotch, brandy, and triple second. That's only liquor. I can't make a mocktail out of that. They can't make that non-alcoholic. It's only alcohol. I'll give you an empty glass for $14. Does that work for you?
Wait
All
for
right.
the fancy ball of ice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll throw the fancy ball of ice in there for you.
I'm a little concerned that the first thing listed on here is the angel shot.
No. It's a red flag. Well, when it started out, it was a red flag. Like that's gonna throw up a red flag because if somebody's ordering an angel shot, somebody needs to be taken out of that place immediately. That's a red flag. All right. Who are you ordering this angel shot for?
Yeah.
Who much motherfucker do I need to get out of here? So yes, that one's the only
Angel
one that's
shot
different.
or the Savior. There's a bunch of different
the one that I
ones.
the
Red
one that
Alert.
I the one that I love on there that is correct. That just every time it happens to me, I go, "You're a fucking idiot." Can I get an orange juice and vodka? First of all, if you're gonna order it that way, it's vodka orange juice. It's always, can I get a rum and Coke? Can I get a whiskey Coke? Can I get a gin and tonic? You say the liquor first, and then the thing you want mixed with it, because you always start with the liquor. That's just how it is. The bartender's just gonna think you're an idiot for that. The other thing is, there's already a fucking name for that. It's a screwdriver, and if you don't know that, you probably shouldn't drink it. Go to hell.
There.
Though I do also love the hammer. I don't know if you know what a hammer is.
I do not.
It's a Mexican screwdriver. It's just tequila and orange juice.
Ah,
So you can mix orange juice with multiple things. So your point
Yes.
was that the alcohol itself is mixed with whatever.
Yeah, but you should always say the alcohol first, and then the thing you want to mix it with.
But what if the thing
Jordy
that's
Brumbar.
mixing it with is more available to other alcohols? So wouldn't orange and vodka be fine? Or orange and
No.
tequila?
Can I get
Or-
a vodka and orange juice? Can I get a tequila and orange juice? Can I get a dark rum and orange juice? You say the mixer second, always.
But what if...
Unless you're singing the song, then you're sipping on coke and rum, saying "So what? I'm drunk." But
So it's not necessarily a rule. It's more so just a
it's just
preference.
again, the bartender is gonna look at you like you're an idiot. There's also a lot of those ones that, like, that's the ones that you're like, yes. So this is your first time drinking ever. I'm gonna need to see some ID. Thank you very much. You're 14. Go away. It's one of those. It's the one that if you order these kind of things like that, you're probably gonna go in for more hassle. Your bartender is gonna either hate you, he's gonna roll his eyes at you, or she. They're just gonna sit there and go, "This fucking guy." All right, yeah, I'll get it for you, you freaking idiot. But yeah, so yeah, it's just like it's
the other thing
Good advice.
bartenders hate is when you say "surprise me."
yes, pick a fucking drink.
I love surprise me.
Oh,
Give me something fruity.
see, no, give me something fruity is different than surprise me.
At
If
least
you
there's
say-
an objective with something
If you
fruity.
if you say surprise me, you're getting a glass of water every time, and I'm charging you $9 for it.
If you gave me a glass of water and charged me $9, I'd throw it back in your face.
I'm like,
Like, fuck you.
surprise! Surprise! It's water, asshole. That'll be $9.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, you say give me something fruity, I can work with that. But surprise me, I'm like, I don't know what you like, and I don't want to remake this drink 6 times because you didn't like it.
I would just preface it with, I'll surprise you, but if you don't like it, you can't send it back.
Yeah, then people don't like that.
No, so what? You said surprise me, give me a drink.
Yeah.
If you don't like the surprise, give me the drink.
Bar mat shot's always a good one to surprise them too.
So my first bit is Taylor Swift related, not the Ticketmaster thing. We've already discussed that enough today.
Are we putting that in there? Is that going to be a Patreon exclusive?
Have not
Probably
decided
cold
yet.
open. Fuck that shit.
So at the time that this particular article was written, I don't think it's been broken since then, but I could be wrong. But Taylor Swift had broken 3 Guinness World Records. Most streamed album on Spotify in 24 hours, most day one streams of an album on Spotify, and most streamed act on Spotify in 24 hours. And that was previously held by Drake.
I'm glad that I wasn't part of those numbers.
I have not listened to her new album yet.
I haven't either, and I'm not going to.
I felt bad. I was almost gonna listen to it on the record player because she actually bought the real album, and I'm like, it's still in the plastic, and it feels like an asshole move to open up her album. So I'm not gonna do it.
I'll make you listen to it when we go up to see my parents this weekend.
Congratulations to me, I guess. Actually, I've heard her new album is honestly pretty damn good.
To Peter's knowledge, Witch Bucket is not on that, right?
Yeah.
Peter?
She still hasn't technically written Witch Bucket yet. It's coming. I
You
know
don't
it's
know that
coming.
she hasn't written it. I think she's just hiding it from the world.
She hasn't released it yet. She hasn't released it.
We actually did discuss this because he listed the names of the songs when I had gotten the album, but as a reminder, so this is
Some of them are ridiculous.
the names of the songs that could be that could also be Halo ships, and this is the extended 3 a.m. edition. So we have Lavender Haze, Maroon, Antihero,
That could be a Halo ship for sure.
Snow on the Beach, You're on Your Own, Kid,
Not that one.
No.
Midnight Rain,
Yeah, 100%.
Question,
No.
Vigilante Shit,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bejeweled,
That
No.
could be. Yeah, I can see that.
Labyrinth,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Karma,
Uh huh.
Sweet
Yeah.
Nothing,
Uh huh.
yeah,
Mastermind,
Uh huh.
The
Yeah.
Great War,
yeah.
Maybe, but it was a little on the nose.
Bigger Than the Whole Sky,
No.
Somebody floated
That's a
that
little
name, but they said
too much, I
no.
Yeah.
Paris,
Yes, there's
No.
definitely a UNSC Paris out there.
High Infidelity,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Glitch,
It's a pirate ship, I think, but yeah.
Would've, Could've, Should've,
Should have, but not.
and Dear Reader.
No.
Where's Witch Bucket?
I will say,
I'm
Saving that one.
Unreleased.
there is not a UNSC Paris, but that is a class of ship.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
You can have a UNSC Paris class ship. All right,
Still,
got it.
still Halo related.
Still on there. Still feels right. Still feels right.
And then my second one for your weekly dose of Disney. So going back to what we were talking about earlier with the new Disney Plus series, The Santa Claus. Apparently,
Wait, what?
there was a social media uproar over a satanic message in the show.
What?
Maybe a Santanic message.
So, spoiler alert, Santa's basically looking to retire. So, like, during his, like, retirement party or whatever.
I thought that was the escape clause.
Yeah, bitch, I don't know. I'm
He
just
can,
telling
he can
you.
give it up.
I
Part
thought
of
they
the
already made
escape
that
clause.
movie.
Yeah.
So the elves all, like, throw him a little thing, and it's supposed to say, "We love you, Santa." But it says, "We love you, Satan."
And then they move. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
and then like Santa goes, "Guys, spelling," and they look and they go, "Oh," and they fix themselves. But
That's just fine.
But
you know, the crazy part of the internet is like, "Oh my God, Disney loves Satan."
the problem
I
with
love
that
that there's uproar over this because this is something that me and my brother used to do to our parents when they would put stocking out. My mom bought little hangers that
That's
spelled
it.
out Santa
So you always make it say Satan, of course, yes.
every time.
100%. No, my favorite part about, I guess I had not heard about this, but I had heard the opposite end of controversy, that people were freaking out because specifically Tim Allen said, we're going to make this a very Christ in Christmas kind of show. I'm a traditional family values Christian guy, and we're going to make sure that, yeah, it's about Santa, but it's also about the real meaning of Christmas. We're putting the Christ back in it. And I'm like, So it's kind of funny that there's now a controversy about them talking about Satan in the show when he like specifically about the show is like, no, it's super,
But it's
actually really Christian. The show.
but it's a fucking joke.
It's,
It's a funny joke where you go, guys, spelling, and he's like, oh shit, that's it.
But I do love that there's now a controversy about
There's a
Satan
fucking straight
and
up-
messages from Satan in the show.
Straight up uproar.
Random
There's just fucking
aside,
stupid crazies.
did you hear about the uproar over the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
No, they didn't actually show any floats.
Oh,
in the
didn't
whole
they
thing?
fuck up the gender of one of the fucking balloons?
Of a cartoon dog.
Yeah.
Was it one of the Paw Patrol dogs?
Or was it blue?
No,
It was
it's from its
Bluey.
own show.
Who's Bluey?
A dog.
Bluey.
Boy
They've
or
already
girl.
I'm
Or
gonna.
is he a non-binary?
I'm
it's-
gonna assume
Bluey's a girl. They said like good boy or some shit.
because they
they
probably
fucked it up.
assumed
Big
oh
deal.
blue is for boys, so clearly it's a boy dog, and everyone's like you misgendered the dog.
Well,
assumed their
Actually, Blue from Blue's
Get outta
Clues is
here.
also a girl
She is, and her best friend is Magenta,
who is a boy.
who's a boy.
But Bluey.
Is Bluey gonna blow?
Honestly, there's probably like some fucking like 35-year-old or something announcing this thing, and then here's Blue and goes, "Oh, it's Blue. He's here. What a good boy." He doesn't know that Blue's a girl.
Yeah, look at that good boy there. It's a dog.
He
They're all
doesn't
good.
fucking know.
All dogs are good boys, regardless of gender.
And all cats are assholes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cats are gender neutral because they're all assholes, and everyone has an asshole. But dogs are. It doesn't matter if it's a boy, girl, spayed, neutered, pregnant or not. They're all good boys.
The
Just a
goodest
good
of
boy.
boys.
God, what was that meme that I saw? It was like dog owners meeting other dog owners. Like, oh, is he a good boy? He's a real good boy. And then cat owners to other cat owners. How much is he an asshole? The other
All
one was
the
like, all the
100%.
time.
100%.
Yes.
Full on asshole.
Peter.
Yes. They are in fact releasing the White Dragon, the Legend of the White Dragon, the Jason David Frank movie
I'm
that
glad it's
everyone
not the
thought
Legend of
wasn't
the
going
Red
to happen
Dragon.
after he killed himself. Ah, that's really.
Gotta bleep that out.
Well, I don't know why I chose this because I'm not a big fan of Jason David Frank, and it's just a big risk to get us canceled by like 40-year-old Power Rangers fans.
He kind of looks like the poor man's Freddie Prinze Jr. That's what I've always thought about him.
A little bit.
He's like he's like the Kmart
honestly-
version of Freddie Prinze Jr.
It doesn't look very good. If you watch the trailer, it's like this. This feels like the Asylum version of the Power Rangers movie.
It's,
The promotional material looks
fine.
interesting.
It's fine in a standstill,
Like I said,
but when it's in motion,
I'm just saying I would buy that action figure. The action figure I think would be solid. They could have a 1/6 size statuette that would look pretty damn cool. But yeah,
I'm just saying it kind of looks like Spartan armor.
A little bit.
throws me a little bit.
a little.
But no,
Actually, I'm getting more Destiny vibes.
A little bit, yeah.
Like Destiny
oh
Warlock.
yeah.
It's like Destiny Warlock vibes.
Yeah. Just throw a cape on there.
Yeah, if you threw a cape on
trailer
there, it's
was just-
Warlock.
It's dumping a lot. Like for the first couple of minutes, like okay, it's going to be a movie about these guys recruiting Jason David Frank to be the new White Ranger, and then that part ends like, oh wait, no, never mind. He did a big illegal, and now the U.S. government is hunting him.
What?
But there's also a
What?
version of him that works for the U.S. government and is also hunting him,
Is
but
this
he's
like
green this
a
time.
Jason Bourne knockoff? I'm confused.
Well, you know what? To be fair, it does establish in the first like 30 seconds that there's like a bunch of clones of just random people.
What the fuck?
So,
In the
like he asked because he fights like the not Power Rangers,
not Power Rangers.
because they're trying to prove that it's like he can be the White Dragon. And he asks like, well, why did you guys have to fight me to figure this out? They're like, we had to make sure you're not a clone. And I'm like, okay, so clones exist. Cool.
Apparently, we're cloning. Stop cloning around, guys.
Yeah. I don't want to shit on someone's final work, but Jason David Frank has never actually been known for his acting.
Yeah. Oh, here's the
It's
synopsis.
gonna have the voice actor for Ichigo in it. If you're a Bleach fan,
Oh, there you go.
I don't think there's any Bleach fans left after what happened. But
I'm just enjoying this the synopsis here. In the aftermath, the city was left decimated. A past reminder of the great battle and fall of heroes. The heroes were blamed, stripped of their titles, and hunted. So it's basically like, yeah, what if the FBI started hating on the Power Rangers?
Wasn't that the synopsis of The Incredibles?
Yes, it was also somewhat the idea of like the hard, gritty Power Rangers fan reboot that happened a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
That Jason David Frank was like, you shouldn't fucking do that to Power Rangers. It's stupid. It's got to be for kids. And like, that turns out you've been doing this all along.
He just got mad because someone stole his idea.
That's what it was. Okay. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like, rest in peace. Condolences to his friends and family. Like, it's shitty what happened.
Right. I mean, he might not have been my favorite actor, but from everything I've heard, he was a pretty cool guy.
We also lost Kirstie Alley, and
Look who's talking
Nikki
now. Not her.
Acox she played the original Meg on Supernatural.
Yeah.
And I think did someone else pass recently too, or was that it?
Lots of people die.
Andor?
Yeah, but that was like before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This has all happened since then. Or around then. Whatever. It's all fine.
No, it's not. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as Tom would say, she was old.
I mean, Kirstie Alley was 71.
Yeah, she was getting old, but she also had cancer and didn't really tell anybody.
Yeah, it was one of
no one
those.
knew.
It was one of those like Norm Macdonald things where it felt like it
Well,
came out of nowhere because they just didn't fucking tell anybody.
Yeah.
But you know
Kept it private.
what's weird about her thing is because remember so last season, not this one that just happened, but the one before that of The Masked Singer, she was actually on it. And remember I even said to you, I was like, something just seems off about her.
Apparently, she had cancer.
Well, yeah, obviously we know this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, you were right. Apparently, she had cancer.
You know, there's some fucking weird shit.
Actually, this season of The Masked Singer was pretty good too.
I
didn't like their
the
format, but the singers were good.
This Jason David Frank thing. Basically, him and his wife, they kind of separated, and I think that's because, like, I guess the wife's child died.
Oh, that's
And then,
really sad.
yeah, and then basically, after the thing, they kind of got some encouragement from family friend that they kind of got back together, and they went to go take a 2-night getaway, and that's where he
Oh shit!
did it with her. I'm like, that's some fuck
Peter,
shit.
earlier, weren't you saying that a bunch of people like blamed it on her?
I mean, it
Yeah.
could be one of those things where they
They
got into a fight or something and just pushed him over the edge finally or something, you know. But I mean, that's
It's a
some
terrible situation overall.
yeah, that's some
damn.
fuck shit. I mean, you did it with her there too, so it sucks. But
I mean, a bunch of other people that knew him came out that he'd been
He's been
struggling
having
with a bunch of
problems.
stuff for a while.
yeah, and that's what this says.
Ah.
That he has that he's been struggling with demons.
So a bunch of assholes on the internet being like, "Oh, it was her," is fucked up regardless.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I mean, there's always something, but who knows? And in the end,
was
that sucks.
murder.
Doubt it.
Probably not. No, but
But no, if anybody's feeling that way, look for help. That's definitely not something that needs to happen.
please reach out.
But yeah,
Well, we're just gonna end this on a glum note, aren't we?
it always happens.
We're good
Well,
at that.
y'all made me go last, and I had the hey, check this out about a dead guy. So
All right, brought some levity back
Well,
to it. All right.
The 8-Bit Cash Show usually comes out on Fridays when we're not sucked into work lives. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and you can support us on Patreon, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I try to keep up on everything, but I've been very sick and busy.
Rate us on
I'm
the
just
podcast
tired.
platform of your choice.
Do that too. And until next time, geek out, be fabulous, and have fun.
Anybody who buys Taylor Swift tickets, just Jesus Christ.
Hey, Tom.
why?
I'm just because you paid so much money for them. Why?
Are you getting stir crazy at home? Does this look like you on a daily basis? Patiently waiting to catch your laser? How about you watch us on YouTube at 8-Bit Cats? Because we'll take away your boredom, and you won't be like this cat, patiently waiting. Get it, Patches. Get it.